this video, we will explore cultural distance and how to properly treat patients from different cultures to our own. Cultural distance can be described as a function of differences in values and communication styles that are rooted in culture. Distance is created when individuals or groups perceive that their values and communication styles differ from others.
In order to provide the best healthcare service possible, we must take into account cultural distance. Understanding and being aware of cultural distance will greatly improve the quality of service and your patient's approval rating. We must explore our own personal attitudes and barriers to caring for someone who is not like ourselves. It is important to remember that cultures constitute sets of behaviour and social norms that individuals use to make sense of their world and how they live in it. Someone from Syria likely has a different perception of the world than someone from Cork. These perceptions are constructed and influenced by the culture the person is exposed to. They are beliefs and social norms that are deeply rooted into our thinking processes. When a patient from a different part of the world, such as Eastern Europe or Africa, requires our care, we must try to understand their own thinking process and what they believe to be a professional healthcare service. In doing this, we break down barriers which may exist, be it social, economic, or ethnicity. It is necessary to appreciate the distance between the medical profession and the lay public, and even the difference between someone from Cork and Kerry. The social context of different groups will influence the development, perception, and management of health threats, with the risks associated with false assumptions. The social context of the practitioner will have shaped their internal prejudices, which can cause the development of stereotypical labelling of people who are, for instance, refugees, homeless, or living alternate lifestyles such as Irish travellers. Clear communication relies on sympathetic and sensitive listening with open question framing and care in not jumping to false assumptions. Here is a short clip from an interview with Dr. Jenny Swan from the University of Sheffield.
Just wonder if you would talk about, because of what I have not been an asylum seeker myself, but I can kind of appreciate some of the challenges you might face as an asylum seeker and the journeys that you have to take. So trust would be, I guess, a big issue for asylum seekers in trusting anybody, especially somebody in authority. So how did you manage to address that issue and establish trust, which is such an important issue in medical practice?
Well, we were lucky. The team was set up, the Mulberry team was set up especially as a specialised service for asylum seekers. From the beginning, we had the right ethos. So, but what ethos do you need? Well, the first and foremost, really, is you have to be non-judgmental. They had to be welcomed. They weren't welcomed anywhere else. They weren't welcomed in the communities, really. They weren't welcomed in Britain. At the time, the press was very anti-immigration. They're lumped together with economic migrants, and it's misunderstood that asylum seekers are a different group. So they had a lot of prejudice against them. They were coming into a lot of prejudice. So the first thing is you have to be non-judgmental, and that actually goes a long way. Then you get trust. If they see that they're accepted, then you gain their trust. When it comes to the doctoring, they're human. They respond. Their distress is expressed in the way that human distress is expressed, and that doesn't need language to understand. But you don't need to speak their language to see that they're distressed, to know that something dreadful has happened. And actually, the secret is good communication skills and use your humanity.